If you want to be successful, you got to master discipline. Simple as that. You got to master discipline. And I've talked about this in probably every single one of my videos I've posted to this day. Like, discipline is a big factor in becoming the best version of you, being successful. Discipline plays probably the biggest role. And I knew it was time to just make a whole video on it, not just touch on it in every video. I wanted to make a whole video on discipline. You got to stay disciplined. You got to master discipline. You got to practice discipline every single day. There's not a day that goes by where you're not disciplined. You got to do it every single day. It's got to be consistent. It's got to be constant. You got to be disciplined every single day. Like I've always said, like, motivation is temporary and unreliable. Like, you don't need motivation. If you're driven off motivation, you're not going to be successful because that motivation is not always going to be there. Discipline is what keeps you going. Discipline is what takes you to the next level. Discipline is what makes you successful. Discipline helps you become a better person. You're doing something every single day to work on you, to be the best version of you. You're not going to be motivated to do that every day. Motivation is unreliable. Motivation is temporary. Yeah, if you watch some TikToks, you might be motivated to do it that instant. When you're not watching TikToks, when you're not watching motivational videos, what are you going to do when you're not motivated? That's where discipline comes in. If you're disciplined, you're going to do it even when you're not motivated, even when you're not inspired. You're going to do it in the times where you don't want to. And that's the definition of discipline. Motivation is only temporary. Motivation is not something that is reliable. You can't rely on motivation. If you only do things when you're motivated, you're not going to get a very long way. You got to do things with discipline. You got to be disciplined in everything you do. That could be in life. That could be with your job. That could be with school, sports. Like, discipline plays a role in everything. You got to do the things you want to do when you don't want to do them. Like these pro athletes out here, these YouTubers, even businessmen, like, they don't want to go to work every day. You don't want to go to school every day. If you're in school, you don't want to go to work every day. If you're working a job, you don't want to do it every day. But you get up and do it because you're getting paid. You get up and do it because you want an education. You get up and do it because you love the game. That's discipline in itself. And you got to practice that same discipline in everything you do in life. You're not motivated to go to practice every day. You're not motivated to go to school every day. There's some days you don't want to wake up early and go to work. But discipline is what gets you through it. And you got to use that in every aspect of life, every single one. You can't just be disciplined in one field and not disciplined in the other. You got to do the things you don't want to do. Simple as that. You're not going to do it every day, but you got to do it to take you to that next level, to get you to where you want to be successful. You got to do what you don't want to do. Like I said before, consistency is what's going to take you to that next level. Consistency is what's going to get you to where you want to be. And when you're disciplined, you're doing these things consistent. Consistent action is going to lead to long-term results. I promise you. Like I've said before, consistency is what takes you to that next level. Consistency is what helps you be successful. When you're doing, consistent actions, it's going to lead to long-term success. It's going to lead to long-term results. Like me, I've been posting a video every single day this month, and I've grown 58 subscribers. I started this month with 60, now I'm at 118, just by being consistent, just by posting a video every single day, just by telling myself that I'm going to post a video every single day from here on out. Consistency helps you grow. Consistency takes you to the places where you want to be. And when you're disciplined, when you're consistent, when you're doing the things you don't want to do every single day, you're going to see long-term results. In the long run, you're going to be successful. In the long run, you're going to be the best version of yourself because you're being disciplined and you're practicing discipline, consistency. You got to. Them two things right there will going to take you a long way. I promise to you. Be disciplined and be consistent with discipline. Like I said, you're not going to want to do something every day. But you got to be disciplined enough to do it and be consistent with it. And then you're going to see growth. Then you're going to see success. Then you're going to see yourself in the places you never imagined yourself being, just by being disciplined and consistent. And when you're disciplined, you're building good habits for yourself. You're getting rid of those bad habits and you're building good ones because you're practicing this every single day. You're going to build a habit, and that's a good habit to have. Doing the things you don't want to do is a great habit to have. Doing the things you don't want to do when you're not motivated, doing things when you're not inspired, that's a great habit to have. Because if you just rely on motivation, if you just rely on inspiration, if you only do things when you feel like it, that's a bad habit. You're not going to get far. You're not going to be successful. But building that good habit of discipline, building that habit of doing things when you don't want to, building that habit of doing things without motivation is the best habit to have. You're building good habits when you're disciplined. You're building good habits when you're consistent. And eventually, in the long run, that's going to define your success. I'm telling you. And when you're disciplined, there's no room for procrastination. There's no room for distractions. There's no room for self-doubt. You're doing these things every day. You're building good habits. You're being consistent. Where's procrastination gonna come in? Where is self-doubt gonna come in? Where are these distractions gonna come in? You've already built the habit, so those things are out the door. You got rid of those bad things just by being disciplined, just by being consistently disciplined. You got rid of the procrastination. You got rid of the self-doubt. You got rid of the distractions. You built that habit that you needed. Discipline is not only doing the things you don't want to do. Discipline helps you get rid of the bad habits. Discipline helps you take yourself to the next level in anything you want to do. And just like everything, like when you're building discipline, you got to start small. Gradually build it up instead of just going for the top. Gradually build it up instead of trying to do everything at once. Start small, break it down. Start being disciplined in one field and disciplined in the next and then the next, and keep stacking like that. Start small. Don't try to change it all in one day. Don't try to change it all in 1 hour. Start small, then build on it over time. And you got to get rid of temptations. You got to get rid of distractions. I said that in every video too. You have to. When you're disciplined, you got to get rid of temptations. When you're disciplined, you got to get rid of distractions. Like I just said a couple minutes ago, like discipline is going to drive those things out. But to start being disciplined, you got to get rid of them. You have to. Reduce these negative influences. Reduce these distractions. Reduce these temptations. Yeah, they're going to come up, but your discipline is what gets rid of them. When you're disciplined enough to not fall into these temptations, when you're disciplined enough to not fall into the distractions, is how you know you've mastered discipline. It's how you know you've built that discipline enough for yourself to not do these things. You want to do it. You want to fall into them temptations. You want to fall into them distractions. But your discipline is kicking in. And it's like, no, you can't do that. You can't go down that route. You got to stay straight and on your path to where you want to be. Like I said, discipline is going to kick these things out. Discipline is going to get rid of the bad habits. But before you build discipline, you got to get rid of them yourself. Reduce them. Get rid of them. Whatever you got to do, get rid of them. And then when they try to come back, your discipline is what's going to kick them out. Your discipline is what's going to keep you on the right path. Your discipline is what's going to keep you going towards your goals. But before that, you got to get rid of them yourself. And you got to embrace discomfort. You got to want to be uncomfortable. Like I've said before, being uncomfortable is what's going to help you grow the most. You grow the most when you're uncomfortable. You're not going to grow when you're comfortable. So you got to embrace it. You got to embrace this discomfort. Just know when you're in an uncomfortable moment, when you're in an uncomfortable situation, is when you're growing the most. I promise you that. Because if you're comfortable, you're not going to grow. You're not going to want to grow. When you're uncomfortable, you're going to want to ungrow that uncomfortable situation to become comfortable. You got to embrace that discomfort. It's only helping you. It's only helping you be a better person. It's only helping you grow. It's only helping you get towards your goals. Embrace the discomfort and hold yourself accountable. You got to hold yourself accountable in anything you do, but especially with discipline. You got to hold yourself accountable. If you know you didn't practice discipline today, you didn't do what you're supposed to do, hold yourself accountable. Write it down. Keep an accountability journal. Hold yourself accountable for these things so they help you grow, so they help you not do it again. If you weren't disciplined today, you got to be disciplined tomorrow. Hold yourself accountable. You have to. And discipline is not a restriction. Discipline is not a restriction. It's a form of self-respect. You got to respect yourself enough to practice discipline. You got to respect yourself enough to put in the work when you don't want to. You got to respect yourself enough to not fall into these temptations, to not fall into these distractions, to not get off path from your goals. You got to respect yourself enough. So don't look at discipline as a restriction from not being able to do things or not being able to do things your way. Discipline is nothing but self-respect for yourself. It's building self-respect. You got to practice discipline. Discipline is what's going to take you to the next level. Discipline is what's going to take you to where you want to be. Discipline is going to make you successful. So it's not a restriction. If you view it as a restriction, then your mindset need to change. Because it's not. It's nothing but a form of self-respect for you to be the best version of you, for you to be in the places where you want to be, for you to reach your goals. It's a form of self-respect. And discipline is going to bring you nothing but improved focus, improved productivity. You're doing the things when you don't want to do them. So imagine when you do the things when you do want to do them. Discipline helps you become more focused, helps you become more productive, because you're doing this thing when you don't want to do it. Like, you're becoming more productive, because when you do get that feeling and that motivation to do it, you're going to go even harder. You're going to go even harder when the times where you want to do it. So it's building productivity, it's building focus, and it's helping you achieve your goals. You're doing the things you don't want to do every day. You're putting the work in the times where you don't want to. It's going to help you achieve your goals. It may even help you achieve your goals faster because you're doing it every day. You're not delaying it. You're doing this thing every single day. You're waking up and being better every day. You're waking up and putting the work in every day, even in times when you don't want to. So it's going to help you achieve your goals, and it might help you get there even faster than they were before. And it helps you build self-confidence. It helps you build resilience. Like I said, you're doing these things when you don't want to. You're resilient. You're resilient to your temptations. You're resilient to your distractions. It's helping you build resilience. Discipline is more than just doing the things you don't want to do. It's helping you become the best version of you in every aspect of life. If you're disciplined in this field, you're going to be disciplined in this field. If you're disciplined in this situation, you're going to be disciplined in that situation. Like, it's helping you become the best version of you in every aspect of life, in every situation in life. No matter what, it's helping you become the best version of you. It engraves in your brain that you can't quit. Simple as that. Discipline engraves in your brain that you can't quit. You're pushing forward, you're working when at times you don't want to. So why would you quit? There's no reason for it. If you practice discipline, if you master discipline, you will never quit anything. You're not supposed to quit anything anyway, but mastering discipline helps you, confirm that and make that true even more. You're not going to quit. You're disciplined. There's no reason for you to quit. Start today. Start today after this video with one small act of discipline. You can do it. I believe in you. You can master discipline. I know you can. Just wake up and put the work in every day. No matter how you're feeling about it, no matter if you're motivated or not, no matter if you're inspired or not, just do it. Go out there and put the work in. Go out there and put the time in. Go out there and complete that assignment. Go out there and shatter that goal. Just go do it. Build discipline, master discipline, and go do the things you don't want to do. But that'll be all for this video, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're on the road to 150 subs. If you have not subbed up yet, go hit that sub button. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next one.